Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I thought I'd do a little bit of journaling in my junk journal. I started off the year really strong in this journal with the junk journal January prompts. In fact, I did quite a lot in December as well. Then I think I did something in here just about every day of January. And I then released a video which was about creating writing spots in my journals, which are there, and I haven't actually then used it since. And I do go through phases like that where I want to use it all the time, and then I kind of just dip in and out of it. But so I have got lots of writing spots there ready to go, but I thought that today I would work on 2 empty pages and start trying to get myself back into the swing of it a bit. I recently went on a walk and I thought it'd be really nice to document that, because I thought there was quite a lovely contrast between that was the walk that I did, just sort of going along the road, and there was all bare trees and just a little bit of green on their edge. And then when I went round the corner, I found this lovely daffodil, and then also in my garden, my first camellia shrub has started to bloom. So I thought it'd be really nice to show that transition into spring. I get asked quite a lot of times about what I use to print off my photos. And I use this Brother, and it's sometimes called the colour label printer, that's the name on it, but it's also called a design and craft printer depending on where you see it. But it's the VC500W model, and I'll leave a link to it down below. I was sent this by Brother a few years ago. I've got a couple of different printers, but this one's definitely my favourite. And one of the reasons I like it is that you can change the roll size on the back, so for printing off different size photos or texts or anything like that, because you then access an app to be able to print through that. And I have got a demonstration video if you're interested in it. If you search Brother on my YouTube channel, you'll find when I did a sort of full demonstration of how that works, but it's been a while since I mentioned it, and I know I've been asked a few questions. Yeah, so this is what I really want to get documented today, is this walk that I did and kind of the contrast between the grey skies and lack of colour and then seeing some flowers come into bloom. So on this page, I still want to be able to see the background of the book page, so I don't want to cover that entirely. So I was thinking about using one of these 2 stencils from my range. I think perhaps the leafy one would be best, because I still want the photos to be the main focal point. So I'm going to just pop a little scrap bit of paper underneath here. And then I'm going to use the Ranger Distress Oxide in Bundled Sage, and I'm going to use this ink blending tool. This journal's getting quite bumpy, so a little bit more tricky to work on now, but I love it when they start getting all chunky and filled with the special memories and all my thoughts. And I'm hoping that by filming this for YouTube today, it's going to encourage me to get back in and finish this journal. I think I just go through phases of what I'm interested in using, and that's why I like having a variety of journals, so that there's always something there depending on whether I fancy doing art journaling, junk journaling, lots of writing. I've always got some options there. Okay, I'm really pleased with how that's looking. It's given me a nice subtle background, so hopefully it's not too distracting Doesn't take anything away from the photos, but just gives a lovely little background around there. Just trying to decide how I want the photos to go. So I think I'm going to pop this one down first. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of my washi tapes too. Okay, so nice and simple. I might come back and do something else on there once I've got these photos added. And because this one is the plain background, it was the back of something from Daphne's Diaries magazine, and it's kind of got that glue strip on it. I want to cover all of this page up. So I was just having a quick look through my paper pad. I think what I'd like to go for, as much as those leaves would tie in with the stencil, I want to then start bringing in perhaps some brighter colours as that kind of turning into spring. So I think I'm going to go for this pink sheet here. So I'm going to glue this down using Pritt Stick, and then I'll trim off around the edges so that it just fits neatly onto that page. And before I add these photos, I thought it'd be nice to have some little, that's writing spots coming out of the side of them. So I've got these printables, they were from Pink Monarch Prints. So I think that would look quite nice. It breaks up the background a little bit, but I can still see lots of it. So again, just going to glue these down. One of the things I love about junk journaling is just all of the variety. The pages all look so different. I use printables, I use bits from magazines, coffee dyed papers, leaflets, anything really, and I just really enjoy that variety. Okay. I also want to add a little bit of stamping in here. Got this lovely stamp from London Gifties. So I'm going to print, just add some black ink to the back of the stamp. I'm using Stays On ink. And I've already got quite a lot of bumpiness even behind this with envelopes, so I'm not sure how good a print I'm going to get. Okay, I really like that. That came out well. I thought it would be nice to add a little quote on this side. So these are the quotes from my printables, and I've got some printed on white paper, some on parchment paper. I probably want quite a small quote here. Okay, I think time to explore is good. I think that suits well. That was on the weekend when I had a little bit more time to get outside and take Barney, my little dog, on a longer walk. And that's one of the things I so look forward to in the spring when you start to get some nicer weather, is just being able to get outside for longer periods of time. And to take away a little bit from that just being entirely white, I used some distress ink in Vintage Photo and just added that ink around the outside. I now want to add a little heading here, and for this I'm going to use a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen with a firm nib. Okay, I've got that little reminder there that spring is coming, and I'm now just going to jot down a few thoughts about my walk and how excited I am about some hopefully nicer weather being on the way. And for this I'm using a black Moody gel pen. Okay, that's my journal writing all done and those pages finished. I just had a couple of things I want to do before I go, because I really want to encourage myself to come back and start using these. So I think I'm just going to add a little bit more decoration. I've been sent these gorgeous tapes by London Gifties, so I thought if I just add a few of these to some of my pages, I do this all the time even in my kind of more regular journals, just to break up the pages a little bit and invite me to write. I think this tape was Drowning in Flowers. I'm terrible at remembering the names. I do swatches, but then each of the images are different and I find it hard to remember them. But yeah, I think this one was Drowning in Flowers. Either way, if you're interested, if you go onto the London Gifties website, I've noticed she's now sort of added a new releases section. So hopefully that will help a little bit. Just gonna pop that there, and then I might add some coffee dyed paper later. In fact, I might add a little bit now, then I'm all out of excuses. So I've already got somewhere nice and small but inviting to write. It's definitely one of my tips. If you're finding it hard to get motivated, just spend half an hour doing some of these writing spots that I'd already done, getting your journal ready for a few pages in advance if you've got a little bit of time. So then on your busier days, or days where you're not feeling as inspired or motivated or in the mood for creating, hopefully you've already got somewhere really lovely to turn to. Okay, and again, I think I might break this background up a bit. Perhaps might add a couple of these. These just have such a lovely cozy feel to them. It definitely kind of represents the weather we're having a lot of at the moment. Still lots of rain and those dark evenings. Okay, I think that will do me. I'm all out of excuses now. I'm actually going to move this and put this right next to the settee so that tonight it encourages me to sit down and just writing it. I don't need to do too much writing, but I do love getting some thoughts out. But yes, I really hope you've enjoyed that and you've enjoyed seeing how I put a spread together, and I hope you're doing well. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon. Well, thank you again for watching. I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.